Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1635. Today is a Tuesday, so we're doing a TR Tuesday. TR Tuesdays and TR Thursdays regard Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider's books on the rules, time-tested secrets for capturing the heart of Mr. Right, more rules, the rules too, more rules to live and love by. The Rules Handbook, a guide to creating loving and lasting relationships, and Not Your Mother's Rules, the new secrets for dating. And we're going to go into, and we're going to stay in chapter 3, Hug Your Daughter and Other Rules for Mothers and Fathers. Now, we were reading this. If you're reading this chapter, you are probably wondering how you can help your daughter with dating, no matter how old she is. You are an important part of this book. You can influence her in a way no one else can. In fact, during consultations, we always ask our clients, what does your mother think of this relationship? Because we value her opinion and perspective. Perhaps you have tried to help by giving your daughter a copy of the rules. Perhaps you have tried to lead by example by being rulesy in your own relationships. Mothers have written to us or scheduled consultations about their daughters. Many were frustrated watching them break rules or act out by the way their boyfriends were treating them. Sometimes sometimes they were concerned that their daughters had no boyfriends at all. But like with anything else, these mothers sometimes had to wait until their daughters were ready to listen. We tell them the same things we tell clients. In order for the rules to help, their daughters have to want to use them, and they must trust their mothers to steer them on the right path. And we were reading about an example of Jillian, and we were over here. Our rules in this chapter apply to dads every bit as much as they apply to moms. Let's be honest. Every dad wants his daughter to be a rules girl. He wants her to date with self-respect and not to chase guys or go on booty calls. What father would want his daughter seeing a guy 24/7 or sleeping around? We have had clients in college tell us that their dads bought them the rules or paid for a consultation with us. We know dads care about their daughters' about how their daughters date, and that's why we wanted to include them in this chapter. We've interviewed many dads and frankly feel they could have helped us write the rules. Our father, one father told his 20-year-old daughter, don't call guys, don't chase guys, and I have to meet the guy when he picks you up. He has to look me in the eye, and if he doesn't, he's hiding something. Not all dads are this involved or vocal, nor do their daughters want them to be, but we think dads can help their daughters do the rules by giving them this book and by treating women with love and respect. We even know happily married women, we even know happily married men who told their daughters, just copy your mom. I dated many women, but she got me to marry her. Ah, they mentioned that in the first book too, that what the dad said was, just copy your mom. She got me to marry her. We don't suggest scaring daughters into rulesy behavior by saying that all guys just want one thing or by acting unapproachable and judgmental. Remember, dads, you want your daughters to be able to talk to you if they are not sure what to do or are in trouble. If you help her with dating now, you can breathe a sigh of relief when you proudly walk her down the aisle at her wedding. Moms and dads, if you want to help your daughter have self-esteem and avoid dating problems down the road, here are our suggestions. Give her a copy of Not Your Mother's Rules if you haven't already, as well as the rules, the original one. Many of you contacted us saying that your mother gave you the rules and you tried to pass down these words of wisdom to your daughters, but they read it and said, what's an answering machine? This is so 1950s. Dating is harder now. So here's our response to that argument. And by the way, it came out in 1995, not 1955. So here, just tell her that chasing guys doesn't work and then let it go. Either she takes to it or she doesn't. And even if she doesn't now, she still may later on. Speak frankly about sex. Tell her that sex between a man and a woman is a beautiful thing, that anything you do when you are in love is wonderful and special, but that random hookups are unfulfilling acts of desperation. You do not have to have a formal sex talk, but you should not pretend that sex doesn't exist. Watch a chick flick together and ask her questions about characters in the movie to lessen the intensity of the subject. Sex and the City is always useful to discuss this topic. Ask her if Carrie should have waited so long for Mr. Big or what she thinks of Samantha's casual relationships with men. Ask her which of the four main characters is her role model. Just get a conversation going. Young women are reluctant to answer direct questions about their dating life, but they might open up if you talk about it this way. I like the behavior of the woman with the page boy haircut. That's all I know about Sex and the City. I never actually watched it. I was in the throes of being homeless at the time, so that's even though the series came out and I heard a lot about it, I heard a lot about it. I was living in my car, so that was not a good chance for me to watch much TV. So I didn't get to watch too much, but I've seen a few episodes, especially the yeah. Never mind. Don't react or overreact when your daughter tells you something you don't like. Hmm. Don't react. That's hard. Some mothers complain that their daughters never tell them anything, and we know why they don't. Because their mothers scream, "You did what?" and go crazy on them. The daughters clam up. If you want your daughter to talk to you, to tell you what she's doing as well as her innermost thoughts, secrets, and fears, be calm in the face of the storm. Don't be judgmental and scare her away. If she tells you, "I'm dating a guy who you may not like," or "I lost my virginity," or "I'm pregnant," or "I think I'm gay," just say, "I'm so glad you told me. I love and support you no matter what. It's your life, so how would you like to handle it?" Let her feel safe with you by not being critical. Say what you mean, but don't be mean. Sometimes children act out to get a rise out of their parents. If you don't react, they won't have a reason to act out and they will confide in you more often. This way of parenting also means not imposing your will on her by telling her who to date or to marry a doctor, quote unquote, or whatever you think is best for her. We are reading Not Your Mother's Rules, The New Secrets for Dating, chapter 3, Hug Your Daughter and Other Rules for Mothers and Fathers. And do the rules on your daughter. We know that sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Don't be pushy. Don't bombard her with a million questions. Also, if your daughter asks you not to write on her Facebook wall, don't do it. You need to respect her boundaries. If you are intrusive, she might start keeping secrets. Spend time together. If you want your daughter to turn out great, don't give her just material things. Give her yourself and your time. Go to the movies or shopping, get manicures and pedicures, cook or bake together, rent bicycles or go jogging. Have favorite TV shows that the two of you watch together. Never be too busy for your daughter. Teach your daughter about manners and makeup. We are surprised to find out in childhood consultations that some mothers didn't teach their daughters anything about clothes, hair, and makeup, much less about etiquette and manners. Now, my mother taught me a lot about makeup. My mother was an opera performer. Therefore, she knew every little thing about makeup. She taught me a lot about how to dress conservatively. She was very conservative. My mother never spoke a swear word in her entire life. Imagine that. Mm. They never played with their hair or I'm not like that. They never played with their hair or paint. Well, not because I don't want to be. They never played with their hair or painted their toenails or let them borrow their handbags and shoes. One time I was wearing my mother's nail polish. I was in the garden, and the bedroom was on the second story. And I thought, well, that's very far away, so mommy can't see my nails because I had gotten into her nail polish. And then she spoke from the window. She said, Ying, you got into my nail polish. I said, what? You got into my nail polish. I see you wearing nail polish. And I looked down, and indeed my nails were red. I was caught literally red handed. So she bought me some childhood nail polishes. We went to the store and she bought me this little packet of different colored nail polishes. I forget how many colors there were, at least two or three. It was so much fun. And then I got it out of me. I played with it a little while. My mother had to put it on. She complained once or twice when I said, "Mommy, I want to change it," and so she would change it. She would remove it, and then once or twice finally she said, "You keep on changing your nail polish," and I thought to myself, "Why? What's wrong with that?" I was 5. If you are letting TV shows and magazines raise your daughter, don't be shocked if she dresses inappropriately or wears too much makeup. If you didn't teach her these things when she was younger, start now. Over a school vacation or holiday from work, plan a makeover day. If she's shy, do it for both of you so she doesn't feel too much in the spotlight. If she likes being the center of attention, make it all about her. Hair, makeup, clothes. You don't have to spend lots of money, but make her see that she can look great and that you think she looks great. Show that you value her opinion by asking her for outfit advice. If she feels confident, she'll look confident, and that is a key to doing the rules. Don't resent her. Some mothers are a little or very jealous that their daughters seem to have it easier than they did. They feel competitive with them, sometimes even trying to dress like teenagers themselves. My mother never did that. Or they simply resent raising a daughter instead of chasing their own dreams. My mother really did that. She didn't resent me, but she really did the act of raising me instead of chasing her own dreams. She really, really did. If you feel this way, you may need to get help. Professional or not, you need to talk to someone so you don't take out your anger on her. Shouldn't your daughter have a better life than you? As her mother, your job is to give her what you didn't have, not to be withholding. Don't say, my mother's never said I was pretty, or be grateful, I never had ballet classes. Instead, be thankful your daughter doesn't have the emotional or financial hardships you had. Why should she suffer because you did? Give her the best life you can and don't throw jabs at her. We're not saying you must spoil her, but give her love and attention and whatever she needs. Rest assured, she will call you more often and visit you when you are older. This love will pay off in a healthy, happy life for her. And isn't that what we want for our children? Set limits. Parents who let their children do anything they want are not always doing them a favor. Young women especially need boundaries in a society that glamorizes rudeness, random hookups, spiked heels, and teen pregnancies. Limits equal love. Feel free to say, can you please wear a tank top under that see-through shirt? Or you cannot get tattoos or a nose ring as long as you are living under my roof. Or if you want to smoke, you have to do it outside. Or you cannot have your boyfriend over if I'm not home. Or you can stay out until midnight on the weekends. Be their parent, not their friend. Kids actually want some rules. Too much freedom is scary for them and can cause problems later on. Seriously. Okay. Oh no, this is not what I want to read. Here we go. All right. Don't ask guys out. Rule number 4. Don't ask guys out by text, Facebook, GChat, or any other way. It can be difficult to follow this rule because we are essentially telling you to be passive about dating while you are powerful in so many other areas of your life. You may have a master's degree and an expense account. You may be president of your sorority. You may have your own blog and hundreds of Twitter followers. You may sit on the board of your condo association. You may fly business class to Europe for sales meetings. But here, we are telling you that you cannot even suggest having coffee with a guy. Remember, the premise of the rules is that men and women are not the same romantically. Men love a challenge and the feeling of pursuing. A woman can be as smart or smarter than a man. She can make the same money as a man or even more money than him. She can get a job doing whatever she wants, but when it comes to dating, she cannot be the aggressor without eventually regretting it. Just like texting or talking to a guy first, asking them out destroys the chase and rarely works out, as men know exactly what their type or look is and go after it. As if you ask a guy out, he may say yes to be polite, for sex, or out of boredom, but eventually he will drop you for the girl he really likes. This is Not Your Mother's Rules by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider. The new secrets for dating now with their daughters too. They've got their daughters giving you little bits of information in between. So I'll read the daughters part right here in this chapter right now. The rules daughters say, quit playing games. If we've learned, this is the daughters speaking now. If we've learned anything from the romantic comedy genre, it's that most guys don't like girls who play games. These days, there may be a lot more games to choose from, but the same rule still applies. You might think it's harmless to start a round of draw something with that cutie from chemistry. Maybe you're curious just how big his vocabulary is and decide that a few rounds of words with friends might be the best test. But as you already know, a girl should never make the first move, even if that move involves a computerized letter tile. Just as with flirting and texting, it's always best to wait for him to show you that he is interested, and you should never initiate a mobile game. In fact, the best advice we can give here is to avoid playing games altogether, that is, phone games. A rules girl doesn't waste time with scramble. She's too busy with her life, away from her phone, and making dates with the guys who are actually asking. If a guy wants to get your attention, he can call you, text you, or ask you out. That's what the rules daughters say in this chapter. And back to the authors. Most women agree that it would be unfeminine and potentially embarrassing to ask a guy out on a formal Saturday night date, but they rationalize asking guys out on other nights of the weekend on dates that might not be so obvious. These are the authors talking now. A girl might text a guy in his group of friends, "Hey, why don't you all come to the pregame at my apartment?" and not think that she is asking him out. She may secretly be hosting this pregame or throwing her BFF a 30th birthday party just so she can invite her crush and think nothing of it. She might email that cute guy from English Lit class and say, "Hey, do you want to go over our essays together?" Or if she knows he likes a particular sports team, she might say, "We're all watching Giants game at Maggie's later. Want to come hang out?" Sure, it's not formal for a specific reason, and it's in a group setting, but none of these details change the fact that you are asking him out. Women come up with all kinds of excuses to see guys they like. They are having a Super Bowl party, even though they've never watched a football game in their life. They are having an Oscar party in their apartment or a fundraiser for some rare disease. Their power is out and they are frightened. Would he mind coming over? Their computer is down and they can't get their printer set up. Could he take a quick look? These are all subtle ways of getting a guy to be with them. They might they may not be as blatant as suggesting getting together for drinks or dinner, but they still don't work. Some women spend hours on the phone with their girlfriends concocting the perfect reason to reach out to a guy. I know, I've done it when I was in my 20s before these books came out. Uh, yeah, let's see. Let's do ice cream at Fenton's. Do you remember Fenton's on Grand Avenue in Oakland? Fenton's ice cream was a decades old iconic place to have ice cream, and then they sold it to new owners that flunked miserably because they fired the original. They laid off the original staff keepers that had been the reason that people came in. They were the personalities of the place. But anyway, I think they rehired them back. I don't know if they ever got their business back up, and I don't know if they exist anymore, but let's go to Fenton's. Yeah, it's Oakland. Well, do you know how to get there? I'm not sure. Well, oh, Alan drives. Okay, let's see. Maybe he already knows how to get there. Let's call him. You call him. Okay, and I'm gonna call to see if they're gonna go. No. Women asking out guys Women asking guys out under the guise of being cool and casual is all too common. Amber, 30, met Jeremy, 33, at a party. Jeremy spoke to her first, got her number, and texted her to meet for drinks later in the week. He also friended her on Facebook. They met for drinks and then she never heard from him again. Amber really liked him and desperately wanted to figure out a way to contact him again that wasn't too obvious. She knew she couldn't ask him out on a date, but she thought it wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be so bad to message him on Facebook about her BFF's upcoming Christmas party, which they had schemed to throw for the sole purpose of seeing him again. She wrote, "Thanks for drinks. Not sure what you are doing Friday night, but my friend is having a big party. Let me know if you want to join me. No pressure." Amber spent half an hour crafting the perfect Facebook message with her friend so she did not sound like she was asking him out. 2 minutes later, Jeremy wrote back, "Cool, would love to come." He showed up and they had a great time, but she still never heard from him again after that. All that trouble, all that effort for nothing. That's when Amber emailed us for help. We explained that the relationship was over when she didn't hear from him after drinks. Facebook messaging him an invitation to the party was asking him out and was against the rules. Just because it was via the internet and not for a Saturday night dinner date does not mean it was okay. If it's not his idea to hang out with you, then you're asking him out. Most importantly, you're forcing the relationship to carry on longer than it should. Let's be honest here. If you have to figure out ways, excuse me, if you have to figure out ways to make a guy be with you, the relationship won't hold up long term. Amber later found out through Facebook that Jeremy and his ex-girlfriend were back together, and that was why he never asked her out again. There is always a reason, which is why rules girls don't try to make anything happen. Short term, sure, a guy will take you up on the party. Excuse me. Excuse me. Will take you up on the party or movie or study session, but he won't be coming for you. Guys will see through these contrived invitations eventually and start to think desperate or aggressive, quote unquote, quote unquote. They will want the girl who is invariably too busy to ask them out or barely seems to notice them. Remember, a guy likes who he likes, and an invitation to a game or party won't change that. Excuse me. If you're his type or look and somewhat of a challenge, he will find you and ask you out. Like it or not, being the one asked out, not the asker, is the only way it works with men. I have never in my life coughed a sneeze like that before then. And this was on the air. Okay. Old and